Orcs in the Oh, hey everybody! Welcome to Giga Rambles. I'm John Caspian, and the owner, the most prestigious and prodigious. Is that a word? I don't think it's a word. David T. Finn. He's got the lovely crab apple over here, which is a cute, adorable
Wait, is
plushie.
it actually an apple?
No, this is the crab apple's cousin, who is lemon crab.
Mrs. Crabapple's dead, as I said earlier.
Right? Right?
And spoilers.
Spoiler alert.
Simpsons did it.
Worst spoilers ever.
So, as the first Friday of the month, we always talk about our special theme. And this month's theme in particular is Camp Month. Right, David?
Sure.
But your son's not going to camp yet. He's almost 2.
Actually, he went to his first day of daycare this week.
Hey!
Or open day.
That's almost like a camp. It's just fun for him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. So with Camp Month, we have the theme of going outdoors, although we stay indoors because we're gamers. But you can, for instance, play games like Bug Hunt, Wardlings, which is a awesome RPG for youngsters, youth, as they might be called. We have things like Shovel Knight, where you get to go outside and dig at things. We have Joe, who also digs at things, and he's coming over with David's drink, which is awesome. And then we also have some more restock of the Age of Sigmar starter set stuff, such as this beautiful, I think it's called Realmscape. Yep, Realmscape expansion set. And then over here, Kids on Bikes.
That is a speedy run through of what's new.
Yeah, I'm just showing it off before we talk in detail about them. And then we have Kids on Bikes, which is an RPG about, it's kind of like if Stranger Things just had the kids biking around everywhere. It's kind of like that, but in more detail.
iced coffee.
I
That
feel like
looks
Joe
really
doesn't know me at all. He made me an iced coffee.
I love
I'll take the iced coffee. Hey.
You're on set.
I'm on
Do your
screen.
job.
I need the iced coffee.
I
Thank
tricked
you.
him. I
Thank you.
tricked him because yesterday I asked for an iced
Joe, thank you very much for the iced coffee. I appreciate you. What a good guy. All right, let's move this stuff over, hand it off, and then just start going one by one. We're going to start with American Pandemic. Now,
Totally.
David, this is one of ours.
No.
This is not.
It's not a Gigabyte game. No,
What?
this is made by Jack Hall Studios, I think. And it's Joseph Fountain designed it. So he's one of our clients at Bridge.
That's the one.
But not a Gigabyte game, no.
Gotcha.
Basically, it is Cards Against Humanity, but during the pandemic. So, and I think less offensive. So, pretty cool. Pretty cool looking game. Fun party game.
Party game of quarantine memes and the pursuit of bad luck.
Yeah.
So basically, from what I read about the description, I do want to play this because you're basically trying to out bad luck everybody. Like, I want to have worse luck than everyone else, and that's how you
Well,
win.
no, you're trying to survive the pandemic in the best way, so you have to like earn your toilet paper and stuff.
So that's great. And of course, with every party game, it's got the potential for a lot of laughs. And it's 2 to 10 players, which means you can have a whole host of people over, which is exactly what you want to do.
Yeah,
in a pandemic, right?
Probably not. Actually. The secret is 10 people should buy this game and then play it virtually over Zoom.
Right.
Yeah.
Solution.
That works for me.
Where's my crab?
Discord worked too. This one here. You can take it. You can hold that. So that
My-
was a good one.
It's
And
my spirit animal.
for $34.99, just like with things like you just said, a Card Against
Cards Against
Humanity,
Humanity.
which I played a couple times. I like it every time.
Other werewolf, other party games like
This
that.
is one that you're going to have for years and years. And what's really cool is that there aren't necessarily a lot of games about the pandemic. They have pandemic.
You can forever remember this.
You can forever remember the
seminal
hell
moment
that
in
was
everybody's
2020.
life
Yeah.
of the great toilet paper shortage of 2020.
And your children, grandchildren, cousins, family members, or friends a long time from now are going to say, especially the young ones, right, that are born after this period.
We used to joke about the bread and milk.
Yes.
Nobody talked about the toilet paper.
Yeah. Because no one had any toilet paper.
All I have is 3 shells.
Yeah.
Two shells.
I reused mine.
You know what? Maybe that's why. Maybe in Demolition Man is because of the
That's-
pandemic of 2020. They're like, well, this is not happening again. We'll just get shells.
Figure it out.
You know? Just
So,
go down to the beach.
and
Thank you for catching my demolition, man.
just in case the toilet paper ever runs out again, you could use
I'm a
these
font of useless
pieces
movie
as toilet
knowledge.
paper. Just in case.
I wouldn't do that. It's too good. It's a good game.
That's true. That's true.
Super
So
fun.
American Pandemic, pick that one up. I'm probably gonna get that because I love all those kind of party games, especially.
I'm
the ones-
trying to think. I'm gonna pick that up because I love. I'm like, you love the pandemic. You love toilet paper.
Toilet paper.
You-
I love toilet paper specifically. Yes. Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm definitely a 2-ply kind of guy.
Sure.
There are-
sure.
There are 1-ply people, David.
I don't know.
Yeah, those people hate themselves.
They hate humanity,
Yeah.
I think.
Wow. Treat yourself,
I
guys.
think I buy Charmin. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So
what we got
next up,
next?
our good friends at Panda Cult Games,
Ooh, Panicle Games.
Keith, Jonathan, they have now released into retail Shovel Knight, which had a successful $250,000 Kickstarter. And this one is cool. You basically are running through a scenario. I'll turn it around the back. I'm not sure if Zach will be able to zoom this in. But as you're running through, you're adding new tiles as you're jumping along and trying to get through obstacles and enemies.
Oh, it's creating the board as you play. That's kind of cool.
Uh-huh.
Like
So then-
Betrayal.
Yeah, you take one board off, you move over, and you put another one down.
Oh, it's
So
a
you're
side scroller.
Uh-huh. It's
And
a
it's a video
side-scrolling game.
game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. And there's two versions of it. So there's the 2D version, which has standees, right? Little 2D things that go in the stands. But the 3D version, they have incredible sculpting. I absolutely love the sculpts that they did for Wander, Cult of Barnacle Bay. But these are also incredible too. And when you paint these up, you get the opportunity to do a really cartoony style, which for me, it's not usually something with things like 40K. I got my orc here. You don't get to do a cartoon style often and make it feel natural. So with this one, being able to have the 3D models, and particularly with some of the Kickstarter bundle stuff that we have, like the Wandering Travelers pack, we have the Black Knight here. That is, I want to say Mara. Is that right? Mara? Mona.
No,
Mona.
never
I can't want to say Mara. And then the Bard. So get those things in addition to it for some extra replayability. But this is one of those
these
ones
are
that
all
you
the
can play over and
Kickstarter
over and over
exclusives. So on
Uh-huh.
the 3D one, we did basically all the Kickstarter additionals. You can get the 2D on its own, but then the 3D comes with everything. And it's like $149.99, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty cool.
Which is super reasonable.
It's super reasonable.
Yeah,
They're
and if
like
you-
I
I
think
mean-
the base game itself is like $100.
So I'm looking at the models here. You've got 44 models in there. And you've got the 4 colored Shovel Knights themselves.
And you
but
do
then-
get the standees as well. So if you don't want to
Yeah.
play with the models, you do have the standees.
Oh, hey, that's cool.
yeah.
Yeah, because some people, like me, I like to paint things up if I'm going to play the 3D stuff. So having the 2D in there as well is nice. So that's a great value. And replayability-wise, I've played Cult of Wander, it's called Wander, Cult of Barnacle Bay. That's the one it is.
Yeah. That's
So-
called Barnacle Bay. It's called-
Barnacle Bay, that's probably a better idea. Thank you. So with that one, I played that one a ton, and it's got a long campaign. And so if they have the same in here, even if it's not, they know how to design
I
their
think we're out of
games.
Barnacle Bay, so probably need to hit up Jonathan and get it
I'll,
resolved.
I'll get him in here.
Actually,
So Jonathan,
no.
by the way, if you're watching this, and sometimes he does,
He's
uh,
one of the 7 people
right?
watching
So
right now.
go ahead and
It's going between 7 and 10.
Joe,
Let's get
I'll
real.
reach out to you and get you on here, and we'll
Keep it
talk
here.
about the game and maybe do a playthrough. That'd be nice.
That'd be cool.
Nice. Next up, Bug Hunt. So for those of you, considering it's camp month, you have kids, you have younger kids, there's a lot of games that are fantastic ways to introduce you to board
Bugs.
games. Bugs are
Board
fun,
games.
right?
Board games.
So
Sorry.
what you do for this one is you actually reach your hand inside and try to identify and find the different bugs that are in there. So you actually got a little thing that you have your kids put the hand
I
through.
saw that game. I was traveling through West Virginia,
Yeah.
and I went into a restroom, and they had that same game in the stall.
Yeah. It's for honor and glory, I think.
Hey.
Could you identify the bug?
I don't know. It was all squirmy.
Oh, we're talking about kids game here.
I don't know. Back to the game. That was a joke. Didn't actually happen.
So, certain of the bugs that you grab are not good bugs, and they bite you. So I guess you lose points. But you're looking for your particular bugs that you want to grab that are not in restrooms, Dave. So this one's great at $29.99. That's a fun one that introduces kids to bugs in general, but also to, it's kind of a dexterity-based game. Not really dexterity-based game. Those are the ones where you're like flinging stuff. This is almost like a tactile identification game.
Sensory.
Ooh, I like it.
Sensory based game.
Tactile sensory based game,
Yeah, there you go.
which is always great, especially for people like me with nerve damage that can't actually feel stuff really. So certainly not emotions. Next up,
I don't have nerve damage because stuff gets on my nerves every day. But boom.
so Kids on Bikes was introduced, I think 2 or 3 years ago.
I don't know when did season 1 Stranger Things come out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's from Renegade Game Studios, and they make awesome stuff, particularly the artwork on this. But so this one is you're adventuring, very similar to Stranger Things, where you are kids. You can be any number of things, but being on bikes makes you a little more mobile. You're playing as the children, so you're able to go into towns and stuff like that and play.
What happens if you're on stationary bikes? Maybe it's RPG about like fitness. It's set in the 80s, just like Stranger Things.
It
you
could
know?
be.
It could be in like the mall.
Then you could have all of your
Calisthenics
games instead of
places.
being about supernatural things. But like for instance, you've got what looks like a 7-year-old who's getting trained with a gun by her dad. So just to fight off the big bad guys, right?
That's just cool.
So-
Father-daughter bonding right there.
Right? That's what I will do for sure. So when you're playing this one, I think this is definitely you could play I think versus zombies and supernatural things.
And it's a role-playing game. You can do whatever you want.
Right, but particularly with this, it's designed that kids can be introduced to role-playing mechanics that aren't overly complicated. Looking at you like every other game system that I love. As adults, we love it, but kids sometimes
Yeah.
they've really got to be introduced slowly to certain game systems. But this one you can pick up right away. Role-playing game about small towns and big adventures. So that'd be a good
Ian
one.
is asking about any word on Dust releases. We haven't received them yet.
So
At
from
the-
what
at
I
the
know
wa-
for
at the
Dust,
warehouse.
yeah. So from what I know, they're still stuck in Seattle. So
Yeah,
they're in the
stuff is-
port. So here's the big. It's a big kerfuffle worldwide, but kerfuffle
What?
might be an understatement. Really?
There's something going on.
That was a thing last year.
Thing
So
happening.
there's a lot of ships that
slip
are
by.
literally sitting there,
I don't know. Came out with a really
And-
cool board game.
right?
Like toilet paper.
So if you can't get dust stuff, you can always
Let's
get that.
leave that right there. That's perfect.
So with things stuck in port, they can't be seen at customs, and there's a slowdown at customs. So then things can't get into the port, and now there's a shortage of drivers apparently.
Yeah,
so,
there's a shortage of drivers. There's a shortage of containers, shortage of drivers. There's a shortage of space on trains. I'm hitting all of this at the moment. I have a container that's been lost for 2 months.
Yeah.
Nobody knows where it is.
it's just gone.
It went into Seattle, and then there's something that says it's in Chicago, but it's not in Chicago. But even if it is in Chicago, they can't get it from Chicago to Atlanta. That's pretty much probably the same with Dust. Is you just can't get it here.
Yeah.
So as soon as it hits our warehouse, the bridge, we'll have it here,
Mhm.
and we'll be filling all the other orders around the country
Someday.
someday.
It kind of feels like
Tier.
yeah, right. Because there's some really cool releases on it. IGN multi-part kits. I love ninjas, but the IGN sculpts are just insanely good.
Yeah.
They're so good. All the new stuff coming out from Dust is awesome. And I say that, of course, having done marketing for him, but it's still awesome. I liked it before I did it for him.
John
So.
Caspian is not biased in any way.
Nope, in every way.
Yeah.
So that one is the Bug Hunt Kids on Bikes. And speaking of, at the end of the month, Irene is running a Wardling event that kids can play. And Wardlings is specifically an RPG for kids. So it's also great. Kids on Bikes might be a little more preteen potentially, slightly mature things. But this one, definitely for kids, Wardlings. I might see if I want to get into this because we might run more events like that. So
Yeah,
having
cool.
multiple
Yeah, cool.
GMs, anything involving, anytime you can get kids into gaming at a young age, right?
Yeah, well,
we have,
hopefully now that all our RPGs are starting back, we used to have the kids D&D and stuff.
Yeah.
So hopefully that's coming back soon.
oh yeah, one step at a time. But Wardlings is a good, I guess, in between,
Good
right?
starter,
It's-
yeah. Again, another Renegade game, just like
Yeah.
Kids on Bikes.
Yeah, they're kicking butt with their games. They're doing really good. So I particularly love everything that Renegade does art style is really striking to me. So
Yeah.
when you're looking at this on the shelf, you're like, ooh, this is cool. And this book in particular is the campaign guide, but we have the rule book on the shelves, I think. And being 5e compatible, so a lot of game systems, for those that play a little bit of RPGs, game systems have there's 2D20 from Odysseus, there's GURPS, there's Fate, there's any number of systems, right? But so many systems do well by adapting 5e,
Mm-hmm.
and considering that Wizards of the Coast has made a 5th edition open license, you can do things that are 5e and use the base of D&D, but then adapt it how you need to. So you've got a lot of things like Wardlings where you can simplify mechanics. And so that's a great way if the kids play Wardlings, and then later on they could be interested in D&D. They're already used to how it works.
Good gateway.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Do we have kids dice by chance? I've always thought that would probably be cool.
Kids dice.
Kids dice, like dice that kids would think, all dice are cool.
More simple. It doesn't go 1 to 6. It goes 1 to 3.
Yeah. We do have
It goes
three-sided
1,
dice.
2, 3.
We do,
A,
yeah.
B, C.
We have three specific three-sided dice that are actually 3 sides.
Yeah, they're, really
They're like
weird.
rounded on
Yeah,
this
really
part.
painful to step on.
Yes.
No, these are not.
These are not.
These are
They're
clearly
rounded.
Oh, really?
They're safe D4s.
Yes. No, but they're D3s. They have
Oh, yeah,
three
D3,
sides.
yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So they only have the
It's
sides here, right? And they're rounded except for the 3 flat sides. So it's literally a D3.
That's kind of cool.
Right? It's
kinda
physics. It's pretty cool.
Ian's asking what events are this weekend. I know there's an Age of Sigmar event on Saturday. Our board actually is not updated. I was actually glancing over at it.
Is that for last week?
No, it says Sunday 8th to 22nd, which would be the Enemy Within. I don't know what the Enemy Within actually is. Very, very vague.
Hero Click Commander.
Apparently, it's a therapy
Sounds
session.
scary.
It's a therapy session where you sit down and you find the enemy within, and you talk it out. And it turns out it's a little child inside, and you play a game of wardlings to bring it out.
That was really good.
You're welcome.
That was great.
No,
that got
there
me
is-
like
there-
emotional for a second.
yeah. So
Sorry,
there
tearing up.
is Age of Sigmar this Saturday. The Giga series. I don't think there's any other events.
Not
Looking
big
over to
events.
Mr. Producer Man.
There's nothing that I can see right now that's scheduled, but of course that means open play.
Yeah, I mean, you got
it's
open
always
tables. Yeah, the open play is always open. The Age of Sigmar usually is about, what, 20 people? So 10 tables.
Mhm.
We'll have free tables. Yeah, I think if you want to come play, it's pretty good. I think a lot of the historical stuff is relaxing after last weekend.
Oh my gosh. So let's talk about the
Amazing.
fact that we had actually over 200 people here on last Saturday. Not at one time.
Not one time.
It was about, I counted when I was there in the afternoon, it was 110 people.
It's a lot of people.
It's a lot of people, and it was stacked. So every
It
single
was
one of these
amazing.
tables had 8 to 10 people around.
Yeah,
it.
if you're a historical gamer, I mean, Atlanta's pretty great for historicals, and Gigabytes in particular.
Yeah.
Toot. is pretty much the place for historical
So
games.
Historical Day is a special event that happens twice a year, right?
Yeah, I
now?
think he does twice a year now.
Yeah, William
And
Thorpe
they
is
raised-
awesome, by the way.
Yeah,
William,
he
good
raised
job.
$710 for Children's Hospital,
Woo! Heck
which is a charity very close to my heart.
Mhm.
So that was awesome. And I didn't mention it to him. He chose Children's Hospital. It's my charity of choice too. So it's great. What?
What did you say?
Apparently, there's a question about crab apples or crab lemons.
They
Crab
got
people.
competing
Crab
I think
apple-
crab people for sure.
Oh, it's a crab lemon. I see that
Crab
now.
like
I
people.
see that now.
Did you not see the lemon before?
No,
said
I
it's a lemon crab.
crab apple. I just didn't understand why it was a crab apple.
I,
And then
if
that's
one of
crab-
them won, if that one won, I was gonna punch this one off dramatically and then put the lemon on.
Yeah.
But I think crab people. So
I think
David,
crab
you have to
I'll
go
have to
on.
stand there. Money. But yeah, no, the historical day was great. I mean, they had Blood and Plunder, Check Your Six, Command and Colors,
Bolt action.
Bolt Action,
Several tables of bolt action. If you look,
Saga.
we did I posted up a couple of days for like 40 pictures of it.
Yeah,
So
it was-
go
it was-
through and
it
take
was
a
awesome.
look. Particularly the table of bolt action that was snow. Were we talking about that,
Yeah,
Zach?
it looked really good.
It was so cool. So
I'm always amazed by what they do, like because they bring in all the terrain themselves and set it
Uh-huh.
up, and it just looks so cool.
yeah,
But-
and that's
so. If
the
you want
big.
to get, but if you want to get into historical gaming, I
Mhm.
mean, like I love Black Powder. I'm a Napoleonic fan. I often wonder if Napoleon had just won, how much better would the world be?
Ooh.
Huh? How much? That's the question for the show.
Zach had
how
that
much?
like
How much
huge
better
contemplative look.
would the world have been if Napoleon had won at Waterloo? If he hadn't had hemorrhoids.
I'm gonna
Or
go.
was it gastro? It was gastro.
It was gastrointestinal.
It was gastrointestinal.
stuff.
But if he hadn't had issues like that where he could survey the field,
I'm gonna say it wouldn't have mattered because it wouldn't. I don't think that was make or break. Like historically, they say that
I
you
think
know
it was.
the breaking point for him.
It was the breaking point for him,
But I'm not sure
I
if he had won that day, if that would have been a breaking point for Britain.
I think if he had won that day, it would have forced a lot of the European powers to sue for peace, and then that would have like isolated England again.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know.
But when you say how much better, what if it's not better at all? Like he was
I mean,
big
have
on
you
certain
seen
things.
2020? Do we really do?
Well, you have to
Can
think.
we-
You have to think that
What timeline are we in right
the
now,
changes of Waterloo leads to like all the fracturing, which led to like Franco-Prussian War, which directly led to like World War One, directly led to World War Two, and all the fights and stuff in between. It's every war leads to war.
You're really getting me thinking here because now
You
I'm
have
like,
to.
wow.
Well, you have to go back. I mean, like Spanish and Austrian succession leads pretty much Napoleonic stuff.
Right.
Like it just keeps going back and back and back and back.
Huh. 100
Tangled
years
web.
more.
It probably wouldn't have been any better. But,
No.
I just know as a person, he conquered countries,
Right.
and sure he put his own people in charge, but they were like protectorates rather than empires, right? So
Right.
it wasn't like direct rule, like say,
With that Britain did.
like the British in India where they
Right.
subjugate people. It was
Right.
like, hey, I own Piedmont. Or no, I own Naples. And sure, my brother is the king now of Naples, but you're still Naples.
Right.
Huh?
Yeah.
You just listen to me. And it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know,
It's better than being stabbed.
Yeah.
So
there
sure.
you go.
Okay.
So if we
you're
win
in
the
trouble.
Waterloo, then Britain gets isolated. Then
Well, the hope is they sue for peace, right? Because he won
Right.
that battle, sues for peace. They almost won that battle.
Right.
Almost.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. A lot of history.
That's why it was such a big deal. Why everyone recreates that battle.
Yeah. Granted, then you go back if you hadn't marched on Russia, probably would have been better off and not lost like tens of thousands of people to exposure
Right.
Yeah, don't attack Russia.
in winter.
Just don't. Yeah. Also.
Also.
Two caveats. Don't attack Russia. Don't attack Russia in winter.
That's an extra caveat for sure.
Yeah,
Next one. Anyway.
Germans made 2 mistakes.
I think they made a couple more than 2.
Yeah,
Well,
they made
In particular regard to
Yeah.
Russia, yes.
Regarding Russia.
The two
excuse me,
mistakes
sir,
you're supposed to make.
I've seen Family Guy. They were on vacation.
Oh, okay. Okay.
The whole country on vacation. In
Oh
Russia.
my gosh. It's
We
But
lost
with historicals, getting back to that,
We never left historical.
in terms of the games, though,
Oh,
we're
yeah,
still talking about history, right? But let's ramble back toward the actual game. So things like Black Powder, Blood and Plunder, which we have quite a few things.
Yeah,
Well,
Blood
I
Thunder.
saw a photo
Dave
that
Orion is doing a
David-
great
uh-huh.
job on Blood
Dude.
Thunder.
So you get this whole board with water, and you've got these massive ships. I mean, we have them over there, but maybe I'll go get one. And they're just huge, like this.
You guys are voguing ships.
Yeah, because you
I
gotta
mean,
let your
so-
body move to the motion, because it's the water's motion.
Yeah,
That's how you don't get motion sickness on the ship.
And they
Oh.
they're cutting out cloth for stuff, and I've seen one of them that was painted up, and you get literally like small naval battles.
Yeah.
Here, I think you can get larger naval battles as well, but I
Well,
haven't.
they have galleons now, which
Right.
are like that big.
So cool,
They're cool.
so cool. I think they should get like several.
Hey, they're
naval-
coming out with a role playing game for that now.
Really?
Yeah, our own Tim Kurkowski, who works for Gigamech and Bridge,
Shout
also
out, Tim.
works for Firelock,
Mhm.
and he's designing. It's called Under the Black Sail.
Yeah.
Which is a pirate role playing game,
I'm in.
and that's hitting Kickstarter soon. I think it's hitting Kickstarter, and then it'll go into retail afterwards.
I'm in for that.
So yeah,
That's cool.
pretty cool. Like,
Yeah.
I'm literally going to call myself a pirate and call myself Jolly Roger,
Sounds good.
and I'm never going to smile.
And don't laugh. But if you laugh, like
And his
kind of
name's
give a
not
chuckle.
That's
Bob.
Jolly Roger.
Why do we call him that? Just shits the guy. You know what? Fine.
Like, did you ever see Muppet Treasure Island?
Yeah, of course.
Like big
I have a
birdie
soul.
baby eating Betty O'Brien, and the lady walking over. Boy,
Yeah.
it's my favorite part of the movie. Actually, the whole movie is my favorite part of the movie. I love the movie.
It's good, such a good movie.
What's okay? Here you go. What's the best Muppet movie?
Oh,
Whoa.
Christmas
Without
Carol.
Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
Christmas Carol.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. Which one's your
It's
favorite?
kind of Muppet.
I-
Muppet Treasure Island, Christmas Carol. Like it's like, yeah.
So I'm weird. Christmas Carol, the relatively not newest one, but the newer one they did.
Uh huh.
The first Muppet remake.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
was
was
good.
really. I loved it. That,
Well,
my
Amy,
favorite line, the whole thing.
Amy
Let's-
Adams is a treasure. So
And then that whole thing
Yeah.
of, oh no, how will we get there? We'll travel by map. It's one of the funniest things. I lost
then it,
in
like,
the
shows
theater.
the map.
And it shows the map. And I lost it in the theater, and like no kids were laughing. But I was
Right.
I don't think any kids
So
have
that's,
the Muppets
like watching
anymore.
Shrek though, because when you're watching Shrek, there's so many things that you miss as a kid, right? And you just are like, yeah. And then as an adult, you're like, oh, this is a kids movie.
You
But
know,
it's really half and half.
I mean, that's all kids shows. Like I watch Bluey with Noah all the time, and they make jokes, and you're like, ha! And you're like, wait, kids ain't gonna get that.
Yep.
Oh yeah, Ian
Yeah,
said Tim
Treasure Island is
Tim
good.
Curry and Treasure Island. Yeah.
Once
that was-
again,
Yep.
treasure Tim Curry. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everything.
Actually,
in there is
anything
awesome.
Tim Curry's in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Congo.
Everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Modern classic Congo. Amy, good gorilla.
Wait, is Congo the one with the?
Amy, good gorilla. Sign language.
Yeah,
gorilla.
yeah, yeah. Oh my gosh.
The book was better though. They have paddles.
Wow.
Yeah, they do. The gorillas, like in the book, the gorillas don't like smash people's heads. They
Uh-huh.
actually have giant paddles, and they were trained to like push people with the paddles.
Wow.
The book's really good.
Okay.
the book,
take your word for
the
it.
book is really. It's Michael Crichton. It's really, really good.
Yeah, Michael Crichton.
Yeah.
He wrote
Before-
some good stuff. He did.
did.
He had a couple of hits back
Yeah,
in the
one or
day.
two.
You might have heard
Yeah,
of him
one
in
or
the
two.
starter
There was
box,
this one.
the-
There was this one about a park. He's trying to hide his phone.
So then,
Let me just go through a few of the questions. War
Yes.
Mats told historical Dragonfall alongside. Sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, question. Any chance we're going to do full blown con? Yeah, maybe if we weren't savaged by COVID last year, we could have done that. Maybe in the future,
yeah.
grab people again.
because the name GigaCon is
Jeremy
for,
wants to know who to bribe to get more Stormcast returns. When you find out, let me know so I can bribe them myself to get
Me too.
restocks.
Me too. Please.
We'll have the dragons soon.
yeah.
yes.
Smiling
Well.
dragons.
They're
I
happy
saw
dragons.
that. I saw that dragon, and I immediately just started speaking in Sean Connery's voice.
Absolutely,
For-
it's
for
100%.
Dragonheart. It's
It's-
Dragonheart.
I said it on the show. It's they have to do a dragon talking, and dragons don't have lips, so they have to give it some sort of facial structure, so you get that weird uncanny
Now I'm
valley.
just, now I'm
Uh-huh.
just watching-
Like
now I'm-
Sean Connery.
now I'm just
It's
imagining a dragon with wax lips. Or like when you see those old early 2000s videos rathergood.com and
Uh-huh.
the cat, it's the person's mouth.
Yeah.
Or they had to cut out of the lip,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Annoying
Quiznos.
Orange.
Quiznos
Annoying
does it.
Orange was the first, wasn't it, on YouTube?
popular
No,
one's
it's rather,
Quiznos.
rather good. The Quiznos ads.
The little
Yeah,
Quiznos
Quiznos
things,
ads
yeah.
too, which
Uh-huh.
still people who never saw them don't believe exist, but they
Right.
existed.
Rather
yeah.
good. I
Some
love
things
rather.
somebody
I'm
doesn't
rather good because I actually often walk around singing the Mango Biscuit song. I know nobody has any idea.
No idea.
Huh?
No idea.
I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll buy a mango biscuit.
Sing it.
No,
Okay.
No. What did
questions?
you miss? Absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
What did you miss?
To be
yeah,
honest.
Justin, we basically just dragged you for about 30 minutes, so welcome to
Yeah.
the show.
Great Muppet Caper. That was a great movie.
Hi, Skipper.
Let's see. I'm just
More
trying to
questions.
run through the questions real quick. Dragons,
know.
historicals. If it helps, we talked about Napoleon at Waterloo for a good solid 5 minutes.
At least. That was
at
great,
least.
though. Yeah, we need more
Uh,
discussions like that.
We sat here beforehand. We don't really have much to talk about.
We have tons to
Let's
talk
just
about.
ramble.
Right. That's the best part about the
Is
rambles.
the name of the
So
show.
to me,
Yeah.
there's tons of stuff that, okay, so in any given week, we get hundreds or thousands of items, right? So,
Hundreds of thousands.
no, hundreds or thousands.
Hundreds
It's
of
English,
thousands.
David. Hundreds or thousands.
Buried. A deluge of boxes just.
Some
Actually,
weeks it is.
Actually, questions, ask him, because we got none else. We're just going to ramble our crap, so post questions.
I do have some thoughts, though. So we have hundreds or thousands of items, right? So when
You
we
might have tens of items.
when we post, what gets me is I post a picture of something, right? And you've experienced this as well. You post a picture, and then someone says, "Hey, do you have this?" And they're looking at the photo of the thing that we have, right? So sometimes I get it if someone asks, "Do you
How
have
do you really feel?
how many of these do we have?" But then other times, you're posting this photo, and you've got 30 boxes, and someone's like, "How many boxes do you have this?" It's in the photo. Now,
I understand that's hard.
I understand if it's like our restocks of GW, which the other day was 200 pounds of plastic, right?
Well, one issue we do have is our marketing director here at Gigabytes. He's really artsy, and his photos are angled and shaded, and they look really fancy, but it's kind of hard to see what you need, right? That
Are
guy
they though?
needs
Are they though?
I need to fix that.
Are they though? Have you seen the photo?
Uh,
I think they're
these
pretty-
stuff?
The photos are pretty good. How do you feel about the photos?
actually that I
How
do.
do you
I need,
feel
I do
about
need
the
your
new art
photo.
direction of Gigabytes?
Did you like that latest one I did to the bonfire latte?
Ooh, that reminds me, I do need to talk.
The bonfire latte I thought looked pretty good.
Oh God, Jeremy's just getting savage on you.
Oh, what did he say?
Dude, he's dragging you.
Some photos are sometimes hard to see. Now,
Oh,
Jeremy, are the photos hard to see when they're against the red wall and the lighting is not great, or are they
That's
hard
the
to
one.
see when they're on the big fancy table with all the John Caspian's magic put into it? That's the question, because we have fixed that.
Yeah, so that one I'm
Um,
trying to make sure it's more clear.
A list of what came in would be very helpful.
That's
we
tough.
can, but it's tough. There is a lot.
A
Like
lot.
for example, we got the Green Stuff World restock this week,
Uh-huh.
and I mean, there's 60 items there. So you want me to list 60 items, but at the same time, those 60 items come in. Excuse me, Joe's coffee's very good. You're getting an Alliance order, you're getting an ACD order, you're getting Asmodee Games, and it's just
And on
So-
specifically on days like Fridays or it's Tuesdays or Wednesdays when we have
it's every day. We get
stuff-
stock every day.
Yes, but when you get your GW stuff and you're like, oh, I want to post this, and then over the next 4 hours you might get a little bit of other stuff, right? So you've posted at 2 p.m., which is an ideal time between noon and 2, and then you have other stuff that comes up. Well, do you wait till the next day? Do you post it? With Facebook algorithms, for those of you that don't know, if you post something after 2 or 3 p.m.,
Secret sauce. Don't give it out.
I mean, it's on their website.
Algorithm.
But when you
He's gonna
post
capture
later,
your
yeah.
child and make you play basketball to get him back.
Right?
Oh
When
my
you post later in the
God! And
day-
we'll have to do lame skits from the early 2000s, like the Matrix thing again.
But let's be sure to also include everything, all the assets from Ready Player One, and just reuse all of them in a giant crowd.
Savings.
That's savings.
We watched that the other day, Galaxy Quest. Actually, was it yesterday? We watched that yesterday. Such
Never
a
give
good
up.
movie. Never surrender. So good.
Josh's Reebok is asking about the Realm Gate expansion
Josh,
set.
Do you want this one? Tell me.
We
I'll
have
put
a
your
couple.
name on
Yes.
it.
Yeah.
We
You
got
your name on.
4 or 3, but
Or one.
There's three.
we have
there
one.
should be.
You got one
what?
of this.
Oh, there's one.
No,
Okay.
there's another one over there.
There's two more.
Oh, I did direct orders. That's right. Yes.
I was like, I bought the one.
I forgot.
And
Yeah,
the other
right.
one.
Yeah. I was doing my David magic. They were capped to 1, so we got 4 in total.
Yeah, Josh, if you want that, let me know.
Because gigabytes.
Oh,
Uh,
you get 4 times more plastic crack. So yeah, we can put your
Uh,
name on this one. This one's good. This one, does this come with the board? Yeah.
Let me tell you about
That's
that.
what
'Cause
it
I built.
You got
that.
it. Okay.
I built it. I have painted it mostly. It is
it's
all
the
push
thingies
fit.
that stop the goblin smells from coming into the cities.
Yeah. Also, the spikes on those
Trust me, it makes
statues are
sense.
really good at just lacerating your arm because they're taller than a Mega Gargant, and you will stab yourself on them.
Nice.
But it's,
don't
it's
restab.
all push fit.
Always a
It's-
good time.
Which push fit for Warhammer is hit or miss, but it's actually it's really nice. It all fits together. I did a very little bit of sanding, no real cleanup, and it's great.
Really?
Like you could assemble this thing in about 10 to 15 minutes if you're pretty good at cutting out screws. You could get the whole thing.
That's awesome.
Like
You
it's,
do it faster
it's
if you
really
just
nice.
open the glue bottle and pour it on top and just go.
Yeah, or just use the box.
Yeah.
And then you're
Right.
done there. Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, it's
That's
a great kit. Like I really, and it's a lot. They show it all in the front of this box. Here's my hand just coming into frame, and it doesn't look like a lot because it's the angle. Trust me, this is a lot of scenery in this box.
Put
Yeah.
the crab's actually in the way a little bit.
So the big thing for me with terrain, and I'm sure Zach, if you're the same way, but height is really important to me, because when I
Okay,
think
height or tight?
height,
Oh, I heard tight. I
Yeah,
think
tight.
height is really
Height.
important.
height is very important for me, and having a good footprint for it. So seeing this terrain with the 2 tall statue, but also the L-shaped. Is it 2 L-shaped?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
2
it's
L-shaped
one
buildings.
I think it's just
It's
L-shaped.
2
enough.
L-shaped buildings, a little pillars.
That's a
And two-
Muppet joke right
and
there.
yeah,
That fits
that
in
was good,
perfectly
that was
into the
good.
Muppets.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, you can kind of see it a little bit on the back. It's the only thing in this is that board is really small. If you're going to play an actual
What is it?
game on.
22 and point. They had a really
Yeah, it's
weird
like
measurement.
22 by.
22.4 inches.
Warcry sized, I bet.
It is a
And
Warcraft
thirty.
size
But why is it 22.4?
because the
English.
Chinese company had those in.
No,
stock.
it's,
I don't know.
it's probably.
But it's not even like a
because I bet you it's some like
56.8 centimeters.
it's whatever the metric probably thing is.
No, but it's 56.8 centimeters. Like this one is 76 centimeters. That makes sense.
They called their Warcry factory in China and they said, "Hey, how many of those did we not sell?" And they said all of them. And they said, "Repackage,
Cut
them,
it up.
cut it up, put it out again."
But it's
Money, money,
definitely
money.
different.
Yeah.
How many times can I Mr. Krabs this up?
It's two-sided, which is great.
Yeah.
Visually, I'm sure you could use both sides, but desert's nice, and it's got that Martian sand flavor. Now, with Kilting coming out, you could use the board for that.
Perfect for that.
It is
It's
exactly
great
the
for
same
Warcraft.
size.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Kill Team, we have
Kill Team.
2 videos coming out for that.
Whenever
One of them's
Kill
coming.
Team comes out.
Assuming that, let's talk about Kill Team. Assuming that the pre-orders go out tomorrow.
I always want to talk about Kill Team.
This
I
guy and his
freaking
kill-
love
This guy
Kill Team.
is Kill Team.
Yes.
No, I don't think pre-orders coming out tomorrow. Next week is Hexfire, Grey Knights and Thousand Suns.
So, do they? Yeah, but. So tomorrow is pre-orders for it.
for Hexfire,
Okay.
and then the week after, I want to say it's probably going to be Dragons.
I think
Stormcast
the pre-order
Dragons.
for the new Stormcast book and the Orc book, right before the Dragons.
Well, they'll announce
Yeah.
that Sunday, and that'll go
Yeah.
pre-order the week after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd say you're at least. I'm actually surprised. I'm honestly surprised. Kill Team, since they've been talking about it for like a month now.
Yeah.
that it has not had a release date yet.
Yeah, and they're
Um,
doing a lot of the data cards, and we know pretty
So at
well
this
kind of
point,
what
it's
the rules are.
August now. I'd say you might be looking at maybe Labor Day weekend,
Huh?
maybe
But they said it
I
was
had to
releasing in
guess.
August. When is Labor Day?
September.
That's what I thought. It's
Like
gonna be in August,
September.
DragonCon.
But-
That's the only way I know when it is.
right? The
DragonCon.
question is then if it gets released toward the end of the month, why are they doing so much teasing of it?
Well, it's a
Right?
big deal. It's a whole new set.
It is.
It's a brand
and
new
it's going to
game.
be awesome. I'm looking forward to playing it. And I'm looking forward to it so much that we have a couple of very fun videos, of which you saw the one that, by the way, Joe has. When you hear the scream, you will be able to.
No, Joe.
I might put it as an audio file.
It's almost a Wilhelm.
You
We
pro-
almost
It
need to
is
keep
very
and just
close
use
to a
it.
Wilhelm.
You
scream.
probably heard that scream many times coming from the back office when you're. What did I do?
But it was followed by like tears after that. Sobbing.
I'm nothing to Joe.
No. But
Uh,
I will say it involves a shovel. So
Just like Shovel Knight.
And the night.
and Krieg, but
Wait,
no gas masks.
Spoilers.
We
Everyone
couldn't.
wants
We
to
couldn't
know-
afford it.
No gas mask, so in gaslight.
Oh.
Oh. Well, anyway,
Jeremy wants to know if we're gonna install a Thunderdome behind Giga to fight out for dragon allocation.
Oh, we have the space on top.
Yeah, we can figure out how to get to
Yeah.
that weird.
So if we can get to
gazebo
that
thing on top of
little,
the building.
you know how it has windows. You can get up.
I
there.
don't think
sure.
it has a floor.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's the Thunderdome part.
that's
Yes.
yes.
Hey.
2 men enter, both men die.
Right.
There's no floor up.
David, keep
What if we put
allocation.
bungee? If we bungee it, and then like you're strapped down until you're released,
Okay.
and then whoever survives, they get lowered back down.
Well,
So you had to fight
That's-
with bungees.
That seems like a really reasonable way to.
I mean, they're
allocate
fighting
points.
bungees in
Yeah.
Thunderdome at first.
Oh, fight for allocations.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
But you have to play Stormcast if
Right.
you're going to get the Stormcast dragons.
Nobody wants to play Stormcast. Oh,
Get
actually,
outta
that
here,
reminds me of
you.
a question.
Yeah.
There's a question somebody asked that I was trying to find. What's your favorite Age of Sigmar model?
Yeah.
Zach?
Oh man, I was hoping you would go first because I have been thinking about that since he posted that question.
Ow.
I don't know.
Ooh.
There's so many really good ones. I really like
New.
the
All right, let's preface it. New.
New.
Ones that
Oh,
ones
the
that
Gaseous
ones
Fantasy,
that
yeah.
did not exist
Became-
before
Or
Age of Sigmar.
I was gonna say Chaos Knights, just not names.
Yeah, they're-
Chaos Warriors, just because I love the look of
The
them.
new
New
ones
ones,
are
new
really
ones.
good.
Yeah, really good.
Well, then those then probably.
I'm gonna go with the new zombies. I think they're amazing. I actually just bought I bought Highland Miniatures.
Okay.
They do zombies, and I found a company that they do prints. I bought some that have printed out, had the license. So I bought 20 more zombies that look incredible. And I really want to see how they match up with the 20
Yeah.
Deadwalker zombies because I
Uh-huh.
need 120 zombies.
That's a lot.
120 zombies.
How are you gonna paint that?
I'm
Dry
going-
brush.
Right.
Washington.
Pick up my phone and go like, "Hey, Sean Tweedy,
Yeah.
got some zombies for you."
It's a gross amount.
He just finished my Felbats actually. He said he's dropping them off today.
Yeah, they look great. I saw them.
Felbats actually would be another one I really love. I really love.
They are.
Terrible for the Age of Sigmar.
So I'm gonna say honestly, most everything from Curse City looks amazing. To me.
Yeah.
Like just
so
as a
good.
set, it's hard to say one model in particular.
I took what's the Chamberlain guy's name? Horgilius. I had John modify him so he fits on a 20 mil square base, so he's gonna be my new necromancer.
The Wort Bad from Beastgrave, the Nurgle dudes. I think those
Oh,
three.
yeah.
Cool.
Wort's Bad.
Wormspat.
Wormspat. That's it.
Wormspat.
Wort's Bad.
What's your favorite
great
Age of
segue.
Sigmar model?
I narrowed it down because you've released the ones that were fantasy. I can't count. So that's all the death ones I love. So
Okay.
I'm gonna say this one, the Sloppity Ballpiper. The little Nurgle. If you have,
Was
everyone
he Age of
knows.
Sigmar?
Yeah, he's Age of Sigmar.
I-
when
but
they
you-
did
How do you
the
spell
Plague
this?
Garden.
Sloppity
Yeah.
Ballpiper.
Sloppity Ballpiper.
He's got intestinal.
Let me tell you
gas.
about the Sloppity Ballpiper.
Let's hear
it's
that,
a
Zach.
specific disease that infects one plague bearer. He goes loony and
He's
starts
jolly. He goes
gets
really
jolly.
happy. Yeah.
And he starts telling jokes and being a jester, and everyone loves him except for all the other plague bearers.
Because
Oh.
they're always sad.
They're
That
very
is really
stoic.
cool.
He plays the previous Sloppity Ballpiper as a Sloppity Ballpipe, and eventually they get so frustrated with his bad puns they kill him, and then the one that kills him becomes the next one. It's a Curse of the Court Jester.
Well,
kinda awesome,
someone has them on eBay for $220.
Oh
Sloppity
well,
Ballpiper? We
yeah.
have them on the shelf.
Yeah, there's like 4 of them. It's not a hard.
I mean, no, we have none on the shelf. We have them all on eBay.
Why would they be on eBay for
Also-
hundreds of
Because
dollars?
they're probably out of stock.
It's also key in Nurgle 3.0 lists. Like it's a really good model.
Well, we have them in stock.
Yeah.
Sloppity
Dude,
Ballpiper.
it
Nurgle
is so
We also
cool.
have
You
we
are
also
so-
have zombies and Felbats. And your favorite Age of Sigmar model? You said
Oh, the
Chaos
Wormspat.
Warriors.
Wormspat.
We
Wormspat.
Oh,
Chaos
Wormspat.
Warriors too.
I think
Yeah.
we have them.
Feculo.
Well, we'll go Chaos Warriors,
Uh-huh.
which we don't have a Slaves to Darkness start collecting. I don't think is stock because I know I saw Jeremy post in the Discord about.
We
It might.
No, I
Maybe
don't
we
think
will.
so.
I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean that's a
Stock
pretty
card.
cool looking model.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's super cool.
He's a neat looking dude.
And it's what you were talking about, which is like it's goofy,
And it's
weird.
fun to say as
it,
well.
has,
Uh-huh.
it has that. The thing I love about 80s is it reminds me of trauma films. This is going to be one that MOBA is going to get, like Toxic Avenger.
Thing you love about 80s. Was
About- wait,
was
sorry.
Toxic Avenger wasn't 80s.
Yeah,
It was like early 90s.
well, I was young, so maybe I'll talk. But anyway, it looks like it was from the 70s. So,
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah.
Toxic
like-
Avenger's amazing. If you haven't seen Toxic Avenger,
but like that kind of aesthetic
Or
of like
Poultrygeist.
just
You ever seen
overdone.
Poultrygeist?
Yeah,
Poultrygeist
Poultrygeist
is
is
great.
good. We watched that at my bar without
Yeah,
realizing that you can't watch
really
it in public.
terrible chroma B movies are the best.
And that's why I love Nurgle. Is it has that same aesthetic of it's so over the top and goofy
Right.
and gross. You know,
Which is funny because Nurgle on 40K is not.
no, it's super serious.
Yeah.
40K is serious business. John.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's no fun.
Surreal.
I mean, look at these Beast Snagga. Look at that. I
And
mean, you
let's
can't
turn
zoom in on that, but
Oh yeah, Beat Jelly.
Beast Snagga
We actually
stuff.
had a Beast Snagga box come free.
I stole
John
it.
was like, oh, "It's mine now.
Mine.
I own this."
you don't know how much I was waiting to have the opportunity to get one because I love orcs. And
Well,
the
we were
old-
fortunate. You know, they allocated stores to 4, and we only managed to get 24.
Zach with his
Zing. Yeah, we got 24 of them, so we actually did really
He
good.
walked out and he's like, "Can you take a photo of this? We'll post it up immediately, and someone can get it." And I said, "Haha, no, I'll get it."
Instead, I'll just post a thing about bonfire latte.
It was pretty cool. I liked it. And
Actually, really
Rhea
hot.
helped
It was a picture.
take that photo.
It was a
as
good
well.
picture.
She's like, "We need marshmallows. There's a marshmallow inside it." No, no, no. Boop. Put the marshmallows at the bottom. Super cool.
Eat
That was
the
smart.
marshmallows.
Yep. So these bee snaggle orcs though are freaking cool. So I didn't like how they were painted in all the previews and stuff. I felt like they had this white armor that made it look a little bit too close to AOS for me.
They're like the equivalent of goths, right?
Yeah.
They like to, or they are they goths?
Well, they're
Because I keep forgetting it's 40k because they're so archaic.
Yeah.
I think they're not goths because goths are the rich ones.
yeah.
The boys.
No, goths is a tribe.
Yes.
Oh.
There's different orc tribes.
Like there's
Well, I
like the
know that,
death
yeah.
killers and the goths are the guys. The goths are the ones who have the black and white checker mark,
Mhm.
Oh, right.
and they're the
right, yeah,
wealthiest of all
Mhm.
orcs because they have more
yeah.
teeth.
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 Yeah.
Teeth.
And these dudes have some teeth on them, which is great, but I don't know if they're particularly or which one they're supposed to be.
There's a
with.
name.
Someone could
there's
put
a
it down
new
in
name.
there.
Yeah.
I haven't read through the whole codex yet, which has incredible artwork.
Oh,
By the
me
way,
neither. I'm just a nerd. I'm just a lore nerd.
I love it. I love it. I'm trying to get more into it, reading through the codex and everything. But so with the paint scheme, I didn't love the fact that it looked a little too natural to me. So I tried to have as much metal as possible, and I think that's what did the trick. So as soon as you add enough metal onto it, it makes it look properly 40k. for
Yeah.
me.
Proper 40.
Proper 40k.
Proper.
Otherwise, if it's
What you need to do is you need to paint them all like Burberry, so they look like chavs.
yeah, I'll
it's
paint
like
at least a
Burberry
couple like
hat,
that.
Burberry, you know, put a scarf on a guy.
I'll get Galvin to
yeah.
do some.
They put some soccer jerseys on a few of
Uh-huh.
them.
Did you see that ludicrous wall last night?
And what's
Think about
cool,
the
I,
orcs.
Oh mate, we're gonna have a proper wall here today, yeah.
so we talked last week about the fact that the old sculpts had too much like back curve, right?
Yeah, they look
a
like
little
Amy
goofy.
Goodgirl from
So
Congo.
they have a little bit on here, and some of them are like a little bit worse. Like the dude riding the big squig, the squig hog or whatever it's called. They have a little bit more of an arch in there, but for the most part, they're much more normal.
That's
I'd
because
say.
they're probably trying to like stay on. It's weird.
Well, he
gas
also it's
ball
really
underneath
cool. You've got they got grots that are riding the orc, so they've got a hook onto the orc, and they're riding the orc
Nice.
as they've got like this really cool chain axe thing, which is effectively a lawnmower blade but on an axe, and the little grot's hanging onto the orc, and the orc is hanging
Speaking
onto
of
the
chainsaw,
squid.
did you see that new Mantic model that came out? This is
Fun.
the segue into the side. They have a halfling army now for Kings of War,
That's cool.
and they have one of them is the halflings are on the shoulders of, I guess it's an ogre, but it's green. It kind of looks like a super mutant from Fallout,
Okay.
and he's basically pushing this thing that's a giant lawnmower. And so they charge across the field and they just lawnmower you.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, it really makes me want to like play Kings of War. You know, we don't stock anymore. So.
Just in
But-
time.
Just in time.
Yeah.
But it's I don't know, just made me think that was.
And
super
I was
cool.
walking
Super
the
cool model.
shelves and looking at the shelves, and we have the TT Combat Undead Halfling Army.
Yeah, I need,
That's
to get,
pretty
I need to
cool.
get a few of them for my night age.
Pretty neat looking.
Because I have
mean,
zombies, and I have trolls, and I have what are the name of the dudes from Curse City? The ogres.
Oh, the
Night
guard.
Guard.
Yeah,
the ogre night guard, or whatever
Yeah.
they are. I have
Oh,
those.
okay.
I'm gonna put them in on sort of four models.
Yeah.
So I like having my mix.
So for mine, Chris Smith, he's got me some undead that he 3D printed that are kind of like Tomb Kings,
oh, nice.
but they're more of the 32mm scale, so they look less like 28 heroic.
Oh, if you need, I actually did a big Kickstarter recently, and it was a whole like Egyptian-y themed undead army, and there's mummies and zombies and skeletons, and
I love that.
I mean, I'll build some of it.
My
I
next
mean,
goal is to
if
get.
you want to kneel to like Cetra or somebody who's lesser than Nagash, then go right ahead.
You should kneel to me.
This is 9th Age though. We're not.
Oh,
talking
this is
about-
your chance to be like, Scepter does not kneel.
Oh no, I'm man, Cetra, whatever. It's all about
He's a Stormcast now, so what's the matter?
yeah.
So
I made people mad.
for
What?
undead though,
When they hinted at him becoming a Stormcast, people were like, "You would never kneel to Sigmar." And it's like, I don't think he had a choice.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like when you're standing there and they say kneel and they hit you in the back of the leg.
Mhm.
Yeah, except
Pretty sure they hit Sentry. He just stood there and looked at him. In a way, he also like. I mean, he does because he worked for. Did he join Chaos for a little while in the end times, etc.
I don't remember him joining Chaos.
Yeah, he did. He did. He sided with Chaos because he was in Middenheim near the end and he had sided with Chaos for a little bit because he got tore apart in the first End Times book.
Yeah.
And then a voice in the wind says, "I'll put you back together." You never hear from him again until the end in Middenheim, when he's in Middenheim, and he's there to kill Nagash
I've
to get
completely
final,
forgotten
yeah, to
the
get
whole
final,
part of this.
final revenge on Nagash.
Yeah, I remember
And then like he's like,
this kind of.
what Cetra does on anything just turns on Chaos anyway.
Yeah.
So, lower for the day.
There you go.
That's a lesson for me.
That's from the way back times of 2013.
Anything before the pandemic is ancient history at this point.
It is.
Yeah, it was a 5-year year, so.
Pretty much. Yeah.
What about the second year?
Oh no.
It's been almost 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I'm just gonna keep throwing in like old fantasy lore.
No, I love that. I love that.
Not bitter at all.
Right.
Still, 7 years later, 8 years
Did
later.
they blow up the world?
8.
You have one guy to blame, and his name is Manfred. I'm just pointing that out.
It's true.
Manfred is the guy.
It's true. Manfred is a jerk. If you are new to Age of Sigmar and you're like, man, Manfred's a cool character, Manfred's a jerk.
He
Why?
plays as a jerk on the table so well because I think if you charge
He
him,
teleports
he gets to
around,
teleport
right?
away.
Yeah.
So it's like if you charge in and you don't get him just right in the right spot, he's like, cool, bye. So
Yeah.
he's completely just a coward and a
He's the
jerk.
ultimate jerk. He's the ultimate. I love his.
What did he do in the lore?
They,
In Age of Sigmar?
Yeah.
Or sorry,
It's
in
End Times,
So
yeah.
in the End Times, they go to Middenheim, right?
Right.
And they're all like incarnate, so they've all basically like they're all like the embodiments of magic. Each one's lore. So like
Okay.
Gelt is the incarnate of metal,
Metal,
and
yep.
Malariel is the incarnate of life,
Mhm.
Nagash incarnate of death, Sigmar incarnate of Azir, heavens.
Yeah.
So they're all there, right? And Archeon has opened up the void to chaos in the middle of Middenheim that's tearing the place apart. And so they surround it basically, and they start singing Kumbaya, and stopping it because they're using all lore magic to stop chaos. And then Manfred is on the edge, and he's not incarnate of anything.
except being a
Right.
jerk.
Yeah, and he's
Yeah.
like, "Why is it always me that misses out?" And gets a big fist, and then just charges up behind Balthasar Gelt and like stabs him through the back, and kills Gelt. And so Balthasar Gelt dying releases the incarnate magic, and all the spells go on, and they lose control. And I think like Teclis and somebody else like explodes.
Yay!
And, like a few of them different, like just can't control. What's his name? What's the orc dude?
Gordon Morka.
No.
Oh no, the yeah.
Azra? No.
No, he's
No.
Not Gordrak.
but he was lower
Gordrak.
beasts and stuff, and he gets killed.
Yeah.
And basically, it's a bunch of turn dust, and basically killing Gelt stops him from holding back the realm of chaos, which then expands things over the world. So Manfred is
What a
literally
dick.
the reason the Warhammer world exploded.
Wow.
Do you think he was doing it to try to just finally be out from under Nagash's thumb? Like, I'll kill everything.
Jokes on him, he got brought back.
And Nagash specifically brings him back to go, hey, guess what? Didn't work.
Yeah, I
Nice
actually
try.
read.
Nice try.
What was I reading recently? And it explains why Manfred brought those people back. Because he brought Manfred back, he brought Neferata back, and he brought Ursharan back.
Mhm.
And Ursharan went crazy and formed the
Flesh Eater Corps.
Flesh Eater Corps
Yeah.
again.
Well, they're
That's what happened the first time.
Yeah. I think Nagash and
You gotta
Manfred
keep
are
them
very
the same.
similarly they're on the same side of the jerk scale, and
Yeah.
they know
Oh,
each
it's in
other.
the Soulblight book. That's how it is.
Yeah.
I've been reading the Soulblight book. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So there you go. It's
That's cool.
a little bit of lore for you in the old
That's your
world.
lore for the day.
Yeah,
Now
it got
buy
a bit
more evil
crazy.
stuff.
Like the end time stuff gets a bit much like how Sigmar is now, because they describe battles where millions of people die. Like there's a battle
Everything
between
is-
there's a battle between elves and dark elves, and millions die. And you're just like, millions,
Are there millions?
millions,
Well, there was.
dying race, millions. Yeah, that's my only issue with the Age of Sigmar
Yeah.
stuff. Is like,
Right.
yeah,
It was
because I
funny.
finished Dominion. I read Dominion,
Right.
and it's a crusade of 2,000 people go out to build Arden Keep.
Yeah.
Spoilers. And
I was gonna ask.
they
what
fight
happens
multiple
to me.
battles, and in each battle, like 1,000 people die. But they fight like 5 battles. Yeah. Snap face there. That's the
So they
max.
could make 2 battles.
Now they do rescue like 500 people.
Yeah,
at
they
one
do.
point.
They find all those people so that they have more people to die in the next
Yeah.
battle.
But
Someone's
like
gotta die.
100,
Yeah.
like just dead and stuff everywhere.
But the
People
Stormcast
die.
lost like 4 people, so you know.
No, they lost almost everybody.
I know, but in the very beginning,
Sorry,
like
spoilers.
most of the fighting that Stormcast do in the very beginning, it was a little bit of that, like, okay, they're so unstoppable.
The
in this book.
Stormcast are acting more like Space Marines
Yeah.
than ever, because they go against those orcs and like, oh, kill the leader, surgical strike, and they kill the leader, and that just beats all the orcs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dang.
And then of course the man leads to the death of all the free kill. I'm just going to like bring down thunder. Oh, rock slide. Whoops. Yeah, he just kills like 200 free guild soldiers just because the collateral damage.
You know,
And they're like, why did you do this? Like,
for the emperor.
It's cool. They're very big picture, and the way they position the I can't remember the host that lives in Excelsius, but the ones where they're all afraid of them. The
The White Angels, but
White
they're,
Angels,
they're, they're, is it Knights Exemplar?
Ooh,
maybe?
is it? I should know this.
I don't know, I can't
It's
remember.
not a chamber I ever have looked at playing.
It's the guys who have like stone marbly colored armor.
Yeah.
Which if I ever did Stormcast, it would help you. I would like to paint them. It's like marble.
I like the texture paint too. which
No, I
thought
just
was
do
pretty
marble like you do in the inside with like a browny
okay.
gold, and then like
Gotcha.
the top is like what's that base paint? The off-white base paint.
cool. Like khaki.
No, the
It's
off-white.
like a Corax is kind of an off-white.
No. Like
Right.
it is an actual off-white.
Oh.
If you know the name of the off-white base paint, post it up.
Sandry
the
dust.
The gray?
Not Sandry Dust. No, that's too. There's
But
like
no.
Rackard Flesh.
That's the one.
That one.
Gotcha.
Okay,
cool.
We got there.
Yay.
There's only 5,000 paints on the wall, huh?
All right. Now Games Workshop is not because I can't get a restock of it.
It's rough.
We did get a new Vallejo though.
Yeah.
Segue-
Oh, and the
segue-
Green Stuff World spray paints, they have a color shift primer.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. They have a bunch of them actually. Like
So
five.
it's a purple into beige, I want to say, which is pretty neat. And I'm gonna be experimenting with at least one of the white primer because I love white because of the contrast paints. So this guy is with Wraithbone primer, right? So I love being able to just throw on the contrast and be done with it pretty quick. And finding good white primers is tough, especially here in Georgia. There's so much humidity. So
finding any primer right now is just tough.
yeah.
Yeah.
To be honest,
So you go and you try the Krylon and you're like, Krylon, it's cheap and it's what Walmart. And no,
cheap is not always good.
No.
not for minis because it's a small surface area. You're not priming like some random thing.
Jeremy says toxic purple to green, which would make sense.
That's toxic purple.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's the green stuff.
Could just be partially colorblind.
Explains the red orc.
Red orcs are cool.
Yeah.
So I was a Warcraft fan before.
I was gonna say, isn't that Warcraft?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I do that typically because as much as green is cool, I feel like for me red goes with
faster.
certain color. Yes. I actually thought about that because I think there's one where you can get, it's a kilocan thing where you get a bunch of kilocans and they can go +1 speed. So those are definitely all getting red. But Warcraft was always fun for me because you had the red orcs, right? And they were crazy. I think World of Warcraft 2 was the first one that I played.
I never played Warcraft.
I played Warcraft 1.
2 Tides of Darkness. Warcraft 1 was just called Warcraft Orcs and Humans.
Yes.
Warcraft 2 Tides of Darkness
Uh-huh.
was that. And then Warcraft 3. But I think the Red Orcs actually didn't even show up until 3 because that's when they would have had the Draenor, which is why they were red. They were green when they were brought
Right.
by Gul'dan's magic into Azeroth. Yes, I played these games since they launched.
Right?
So the
I
Red
thought
Orcs
they
with
were.
the
I
Draenor-
thought they were in.
Well,
I
because
should've- I
it's
should've
the
laughed. I'm just so
Retcon and the
bad.
Thrall's clan, and it's
Right.
the Frost Wolves, so the red
Right.
ones. So I don't know if maybe they've backed it, but I don't feel like I saw Red 1 and 2, but that was also a million
A
years
long time ago. So I can't
I can't-
recall, but I know I was a fan of the look.
They probably were in like the books and like because they put out the lore books and stuff back when games had manuals that were like cool print.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why I like the Red Orcs. And I remember playing Dawn of War and thinking, why can't I recolor their skin? And of course, they're called green skins because they're orcs, right?
Yeah.
But it never made sense to me. Like
You
some of
color
the,
their armor though. I remember
one
that
of them,
before.
they have the
So I used
blue.
to have pink.
What's the clan that has the blue paint on half of them? Like
Oh, is that Death Skulls?
it might be. Yeah, but those look cool because I thought, oh, I could do like a teal and a blue, but then
That's not
well,
Death
why don't I
Skulls.
just
I
do
can't
red?
remember.
You know, and then I wish I could have a little extra speed on it. That'd be cool,
Yeah. No.
especially if they were painted. If I had a little bit of green showing through, like a ton of body paint.
All I know, Crimson Fist still have preferred enemy orcs. I think maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's good for me.
I painted 160 bone splitters with red skin and then white tattoos because I hate myself.
Yes, you do if you
But
do that.
well, that was my 2020 project.
Right.
I just was like, I'm gonna pump out like 3K of bone splitters, just
Uh-huh.
all the way through. I did it. I played it once and was like, cool. I've never gotten it out of the case since then.
I feel like if you're painting that much, you just look at me, you're just disgusted by it. It's like, oh god, I can't look at you anymore.
It was just contrast and zoning out into the void of 2020. But it got me through it, so
Yeah, that's
You're
true.
not even looking at it at some point. You're just
no. I don't want to go back and relook at them really closely because I'm sure some of them were.
Alrighty.
You know,
It's almost
like-
12.
Yeah.
Rambled for an hour.
The store's
it
gonna
was
open.
great. We did
Store's
really
gonna
well.
open.
Yeah.
Do we have any industry?
At
pieces?
first, we
I have
thought-
nothing to complain about this week.
No. Well, industry wise, no.
No, not really. It's been a quite weak industry wise.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
God.
We talked about all the scandals that have happened over a while.
Yeah. Games Workshop is fine. They're doing their thing with
Doing
their
their
IP
thing.
protection. Well, you know.
I think that's. I'm fine with that, to be honest, personally. you know.
It's kind of like how Star Trek, people were upset for a while about Star Trek and the fact that Paramount was very protective of, what people are creating with their fan projects. So if you're asking for funding in your fan project, you basically can't do it.
Why do some Ooh, Jeremy, that's a good one. Oh, darn it. Don, you're too late. Why do some Kickstarters never bother to get into stores? Because they don't like money.
Yep.
Actually, that's not true.
Well,
They do not like money. So the problem with Kickstarters, hey, now I get it around.
Yeah.
Is a lot of people are doing it as a hobby, right? So they're like, I have a great idea for a game. I'm going to make a game. And they don't consider the long-term viability, right? So I actually had a conversation with someone yesterday, and the guy's question he asked in the retailer group was, what is the minimum worst possible deal you as a retailer would accept? And that was his opening.
Wait, was he like asking because he was going to give that?
Yeah, he basically was like, I'm releasing this Kickstarter, and his thing he said was like, well, would you accept a buy 5 get 10? Like, that's 50% margin, right? That's pretty good. That's not a bad deal. And he's like, but what happens if I gave it to everybody? So you, not as a regular person, and I literally replied and said, but you're aware that you do that, then people will back at that level, and then they will just put the excess online, sell it super cheap to pay for their personal copy, and you devalue your product. And he couldn't get it into his head. He's like, well, why would that devalue? I said, because if you have 10 games at $10, and someone keeps their one copy and sells the other 9 for like $2 a piece, he's paid for his personal copy. He's made a little bit of money, and your game is crap. $2 and me as a retailer, he says, well, why would you not? Wouldn't you just buy it? I said, but then I would have 10 copies, and I'm selling it at $10 because I'm a business,
right?
And I'm looking online, and it's $2 on Amazon or eBay or whatever. And I'm like, well, I can't sell this.
And you can't enforce.
So I literally said, well, what happens if I offered you this instead? I said, it doesn't matter as long as you keep it open to the public. I'm not going to back your game. It's not a matter of money. I back more Kickstarters than pretty much anybody else in the country, probably the world.
Right.
I mean, God, so many Kickstarters.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, but if you do, we just back it. I said, no, it still has to make monetary sense,
right,
for me and you.
Right. So with retailers, you can have like conditions and rules. So for instance, with a lot of games, you have minimum advertised price, right? So with Games Workshop, if you're a Games Workshop retailer, independent retailer, you can't discount, you can't advertise that you're discounting more than 15%. There are people that have done more than 15%, but you can't advertise, hey, 25% off Games Workshop stuff.
I'm in and out of map. Map
right.
does not work.
Right. Only if everyone plays by it, right?
Well, yeah, but also it doesn't work when the publisher themselves don't care, right? So if they don't care, and that's another point you have to start considering, what is the future of my product? And as the reason Jeremy asked why they don't get to stores, most people don't think long term. Like, I'm releasing a game. Well, what happens in 5 years? Like, is your game like a big issue? I think right now is there's no such thing as an evergreen anymore. There's very few evergreen products, right? When I started Gigabytes, we had Last Night on Earth, there was Descent, there was all these different games that existed, and you stock them, they sold, you stock them, they sold, you stock them, they sold. But you can't really think of a game right now that you stock and sell repeatedly that sells, guaranteed sells.
Right.
Even King of Tokyo, which used to be a great evergreen, is not really an evergreen anymore.
Right.
And a lot of them just don't. So like Jeremy's mentioned, and then there's other issues. Like Jeremy's mentioned Joan of Arc. Joan of Arc actually did try go to distribution. Got kind of screwed by distributors and then didn't, and that burned them, right?
Right.
Pip for Bridge, that's why we started Bridge, was to actually help these companies who have been burned by major distribution before. So we worked to try get them into retail as well. American Pandemic, for example, which did not have plans for retail and now is going into retail because we have it. What's happening?
I think the show's overlight is flickering.
Oh, the show's overlight.
You're being called off set.
I'm still ranting.
The
Thank
cane
you very much. I'm still ranting.
To pull you out.
But anyway, the conversation happened. The guy was like, "What's the worst deal you accept?" And he could not understand why. And he didn't see. And I explained to him, "This is the reason you do these things." Like, well, it won't make money. He goes, morally, I would feel like a monster if I didn't offer the deal that I offer to retailers to offer to people. And I'll try and explain to him, but the reason you do retailers, you make less money, but you're doing the long term. We are selling your game, we're getting your game brand out there, growing your brand. One buys it and his friend sees it and he buys it direct from you, and you give a future to your company. It's an investment more so in marketing for a publisher. Because, a 50% margin, I don't make 50% profit. I make, on a great day, I make 8 to 10%, right? 8 to 10% in a business is a healthy, sustainable business margin. So you start cutting down, and that's why deep discounting is bad. If you're a discounter, it's bad because any discount you do more than 15%, you actually have zero net profit if you were running an actual business, unless you're someone who literally works 100 hours a week, 7 days a week, 100 hours a week,
turning like crazy.
and at that point, that's a whole nother conversation for a different rant. If you ever want to get me, of like, why are you doing it then?
Right.
Why are you running a business? When you basically are running a hobby, just paying a game store 7 days a week.
Mhm.
But yeah, he just couldn't get the long term of why you would do these things, and like, well, if I only make this much selling to retail, I could just offer to regular people. Like, and then I tried to explain to him, well, what if I'm the guy who buys one copy and I pay $50 for a game, and that guy over there is able to get an effective $10 a copy?
Mhm.
I'm going to be angry.
Right.
As the person who bought one,
Right.
and then I might just back at a higher level and do what I just said.
Mhm.
Like literally, the first thing in my mind is, well, I can just make a ton of money myself. I don't care about your product, and I have my personal copy.
Right. And the big thing, if you're a publisher or selling a game, is the arbitrage of retail is the fact that you have all of this stuff here, right?
Mhm.
So as a personal person, you go on eBay, you sell, like you're talking about, selling it for a couple of bucks to make it up.
But again, it's that idea of evergreen, right? So
Right.
you release, say, American Pandemic release, it went to Kickstarter, we fulfilled the Kickstarter, and it doesn't go into retail, and it's not. We're not here talking about this game
Right.
because it's not in retail. I'm not going to talk about this if I don't stock the game.
Mhm.
So American Pandemic releases, fulfills the backers, and it's gone forever.
Right.
It's just another thing that just is fire and forget, fire and forget, fire and forget.
Mhm.
Well, now, Joseph is a really super nice guy, and I'm very excited to work with him. But now it's in my store. I'm talking it. We're going to go to
Mhm.
Origins. We're going to present it to retailers, consumers at Origins, and he's building a brand.
Right.
You know
He's
what I
gonna
mean?
walk and
He's
buy.
not devaluing his product. He's
Mhm.
offering a good discount to retailers. He's printed good stock. It's going to be around for a while. That's business, right? It's not. Yeah, does he love? Is he passionate about it? Yeah, he's love making games. Yeah, but he's also running it like an actual business.
Right.
Whereas you have certain companies that make games and they just fire and forget, fire and forget, fire and forget.
Yeah.
So silly.
Yeah.
So silly.
Yep.
Master Universe Kickstarter. David Kelly's asking about. I'm still trying to figure that one out because I heard they're only releasing that in Europe.
Yeah, I thought that was we couldn't get it in the United States.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
I'm
I
gonna
was
try though
interested in it.
because I have European offices.
Hey,
So
Ireland.
so I might be able to get it, but we'll try. But I'm not going to list that for pre-order till I know.
Right. Right.
Yeah, that's it.
Cool.
That's my rant. You got to
That
rant out
is-
me. Hooray!
That is a
Yeah.
great show this week, y'all. If you have any other questions, you can put them in there. As always, if you want any of the stuff that we showed, message the store. Go to Gigabytes Online, Gigabytes with an I, online.com. That's our web store, and you can purchase items on there. Go
I'll
ahead.
do one more thing. We are releasing a new shirt. I don't know if you're friends
Yeah.
with me on Facebook. We have the Giga Mecha Shark shirt that's going to come out soon. So as soon as I have pricing, it's going to go up on the website for pre-order. Super awesome. If you are a fan of Saved by the Bell, Rocco's Modern Life, what else was I thinking? Like basically 90s cartoon.
Oh,
I
was that
promise you.
Nickelodeon? Okay.
Yeah, Nickelodeon 90s or Rocco's Modern Life or Saved by the Bell. Like it's shirt's going to be teal. It's got big bright reddy yellow
Yeah.
colors.
Uh-huh.
I love it. I
We'll
love
take a
it.
cool photo.
It'll go well.
Yeah, I got a prototype myself yesterday. That's just amazing.
It'll look really good next to your Lisa Frank calendar and your
Lisa
like
Frank.
it's very colorful looking. It is.
Who's
Yeah.
this? The Frank?
What?
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 Oh right. Irish. Yeah.
Wait, is
so-
she Saved by the Bell character?
No, Mr.
No.
Frank did. Oh,
Lisa-
oh.
There was a Lisa,
Well,
right?
while we educate David on the magic of Lisa Frank that he apparently never saw, this is gonna be crazy.
I grew up on Clarissa Explains It All.
No,
Gotcha.
this is not. This is a break.
We'll talk to
Oh,
David
okay.
about
Get
Lisa
to it.
Frank.
Yeah.
Y'all enjoy the rest of your day and your weekend. Come by out to Giga, grab some stuff / play some games at our wonderful open tables.
And
we will
Jeremy,
see
yeah.
y'all.
Design up a dragon, you get portion of the proceeds.
Yeah, actually, Jeremy, if you wanted to talk about shirt designs, talk to me. I got plans on that.
That guy.
Sweet.
Work with me.
Talk with
we'll
Zach.
make it happen.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Do that.
Goodbye.
We'll see y'all later. Bye, y'all.
Bye.